The movie starts with Gongju, Chun Woo-hee, facing a crowd of disparaging adults as she tells them she did nothing wrong. The scene shifts to her teacher from her current school, Lee Nan-do, Jo Dae-hee, helping her pack her luggage as she is about to be transferred to another school in a different town. As they eat lunch, he tells her that it was not her fault but to wait for the results of the trial before deciding what to do next, and meanwhile not to answer any phone calls. Lee manages to make her school transition as smooth as possible despite it being mid-semester. He then brings Gongju to the convenience store owned by his mother, Mrs. Cho, for possible boarding in her house. Initially the mother refuses but eventually allows her to stay. In a flashback to the past, Gongju is working as a cashier at a convenience store when a friend/classmate and son of the store owner, Dong-yoon, Choi Young-jun, walks invisibly beaten as he grabs some food and heads back out to see his friends. The next day at school she meets her friend Hwa-ok, Kim So-young, and they talk about the incident. One day at school in the present, Gongju is walking down the hall and peers through a classroom window where a small group of girls are rehearsing an a cappella song. When the leader of the group, Eun-hee, Jung In-sung, sees her, she quickly walks away. Gongju attends swimming lessons and meets Eun-hee, who tries to befriend her after hearing her sing in the changing room. Eun-hee asks Gongju to join the a cappella group. Although Gongju is not interested, she asks Eun-hee for the loan of her phone to help with directions so she can find her mother. They take a bus and Gongju goes to her mother's work, but ultimately, she is rejected and dismissed. Eun-hee overhears the conversation. Gongju confronts her and recalls her friend Hwa-ok. Afterwards, she angrily visits her mother's boyfriend's shop and forcefully kisses and bites him before running away. Gongju stops by the empty music room at school and starts to sing, where she is heard by Eun-hee and her friends. Slowly, she begins to open up to the girls and shares with them that her goal is to learn to swim at least 25 meters. Gongju's friends decide to post a video of her singing and details about her on the internet so she can start a fan club, but upon hearing this Gongju becomes angry and demands that they remove the video immediately. Her friends are puzzled by her reaction and an argument ensues. Shortly afterwards, a cluster of angry parents barge in and interrupt the class to harass Gongju for having put their sons in jail. Gongju runs away and hides in an empty room. Another flashback is shown where Hwa-ok is being gang raped in Gongju's house. Before that, Gongju arrives at her house where Dong-yoon, Hwa-ok and at least 15 guys are hanging out and drinking. Dong-yoon is shown being bullied by his friends. Although Gongju does not drink, Dong-yoon insists she drink a beer that, unbeknownst to her, has been drugged. Gongju takes the drink as Dong-yoon reassures her that the guys will leave if she does so. Under the influence of the drug, she is gang raped as well. The party ends when Dong-yoon's father arrives and takes Dong-yoon, who was just in the midst of his turn of raping one of the girls, home. His father notices but ignores that the other girls is currently raped too. Soon afterwards, Hwa-ok commits suicide by jumping off a bridge. The scene returns to the present where Gongju is sitting with the principal as he advises her he will discuss the situation with the board, not having known about her past. Mrs. Cho's boyfriend doubts her innocence and urges her to kick Gongju out of the house, but Gongju leaves willingly, after telling them Hwa-ok was pregnant but she did not do anything to help her. Gongju's friends at school find out about the rape. They text her to ask where she is and to say that it is not her fault. Eun-hee and her friends are horrified after seeing the video of Hwa-ok being raped, but she does not immediately answer a call from Gongju. Meanwhile, Gongju is seen walking towards a bridge where she jumps into the water. An underwater shadow is then shown swimming away, swimming much more adroitly than she ever managed. A background voice is heard asking Gongju why she wants to swim so badly. Gongju's response is, "In case I want to start over because my mind could change." Her friends are heard chanting and cheering her name as she drowns.